welcome back to the action. We are coming to you live on Sky Sport from the Alexandra Palace, London. It's the third round action of the Paddy Power World Dance Championship, brought to you by the Professional Dance Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. He is taking part in his 8th World Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of 3 PDC titles. He is the former Masters champion, Hollywood Dobey! Ladies and gentlemen, taking part in his 7th World Championship, the winner of 4 PDC titles, the former European champion, Smudger Ross Smith!
Here we go then, our final match of the afternoon. It was a leisurely walk, wasn't it, for Ross Smith up to the stage? Having a few pictures, signing a few autographs, soaking it all up, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah, Ross Smith against Chris Dobey. Smudger is back on the big stage, the number 16 seed sent Neil Sonneveld packing in round 2. And he also had the Ali Pali Wasp to contend with, didn't he? He got stung on his hands, so hopefully that's all sorted now. Expect some big numbers in this one. We know Smudger is a big hitter. Wasn't perhaps at his best in the second round, but we still saw 7 180s and a brilliant 180 finish from him. This is his 7th appearance here at the World Championship, and in the last couple of years, he's actually gone out at this stage to Dirt Van Dijvenbode. Last year, though, it was a record-breaking game for 180s. They hit 31 between them. 19 of those came from Smudger, but he's still lost. So I'm sure he'll be pleased. It is Chris Dobey facing him this afternoon. Hollywood, the Masters champion, who absolutely dazzled on the big stage in round 2, didn't he? It was a thrilling match with Willie O'Connor. He broke into the Premier League for the first time this year, so a really good start from him in that. It's his 8th appearance here at the Palace. He made it to the quarterfinals last year, but it was Michael van Gerwen who put an end to his World Championship run, so he'll be looking to push on this year. Let's just remind you as well, the winner plays the defending champion, Michael Smith. Okay, let's get into our final match of the afternoon then and hand you over to Glenn Durrant and Rod Studd.
Afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it was a full-on meet and greet there from Ross Smith as he entered the arena. In fact, Billy Ocean almost ran out of words to accompany him. And there is the first maximum of what we presume will be many. Difficult game to call this, difficult game to pick. Odds makers struggling to split the two players. And both start with a maximum, as if to emphasise that fact. World ranking 16 Smith, 17 Dobey. Seasonal averages both around 96. A real conundrum. So who do we turn to solve it? A man who exudes expertise, Glenn Durrant. And Glenn will tell you now who will win and why. Off you go, Glenn.
Well, just double checking the 9 data there, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think all 3 matches today have started with a 180. Stephen Bunting, Joe Cullen and Chris Dobey. But yeah, I mean, you can number crunch, Rod, you can look at everything. There's just so many similarities between these two people. It's very, very difficult to pick a winner. Of course, my heart is, you know, with Chris Dobey. I mean, I know him so well, and so proud of what he's doing for the northeast of the darts. And just a reminder, I mean, we have a lot of people who are watching from quite globally. Newcastle is 41 miles away from Middlesbrough, if you're wondering where Newcastle is.
I think more would probably wonder where Middlesbrough is. Double 10 is missed by Dobey. Would have been a dozen darter.
Don't be like that, Rod. Let's not fall out in the first leg. As Smith looks at 161. Chance for Dobey.
90. Chris Uruguay 20.
Double 10 again for Chris Dobey. There it is in the opening leg. Goes the Geordie's way in 13 darts. Both major champions, Ross Smith 22 Euros and then Chris Dobey the 23 Masters, which got him into the Premier League where he played exceptionally well but still finished 7th, just showing how elite that field is.
Yeah, interestingly enough, if we just look at this power scoring from these two, I mean, he adored the experience at the Premier League. He feels like he's made for sensational crowds like a game we've got today. And I mean, the pair of them, they just seem to average over 95 and lose games, the pair of them. They must top the list in that statistic anyway. But I have to admit, when I saw the lineup for the games, this game really stood out for me. Just two quality players who were just getting better and better.
Well, I'll tell you one list that Smith does top, and that's the 180s per leg stats. 37 for every 100 legs he throws. That's top of the pile. And Dobey, 31 for every 100 legs he throws. That puts him 12th on the PDC stats. So two really big hitters. And some speculation that the record set last year by Dirk van Dijvenbode and Ross Smith, which was 31, as Anna was saying pre-match, for a best of 7 sets game, could be broken. Smith 19, van Dijvenbode 12 in that matchup. Smith was an individual record as well. Already 3 on the board and a leg on the board for Ross Smith. One apiece. And just the kind of start I think you were anticipating, Glenn.
Yeah, magic darts on both, and like I said, I think the highlight will be the power score and the 180 hitting. And maybe the difference between these two could be the statistic of who hits the doubles, because we're just going to see an incredible amount of 180s and 177s, aren't we?
Well, the 177, the virtual maximum, it doesn't go on the official stats, obviously. Dobey had 10 in his opening match against Willie O'Connor when he averaged 103 and change. 10 maximums, he's added 2 to that tally.
It was a splendid performance from Dobey in that game, and Ross Smith felt after his win there was more in the tank, and it was a game, like I said, so many games that stand out, but the fact with this game is that there's just nothing to separate them, and it's that classic adage of who performs on the day. The good friends, which doesn't help, but I can assure you it's only business when they're up there. Friendship is put to one side.
Chris Uruguay 96.
Well, Dobey looking to go back in front. Go double-double. Smith is on a 170 and he's already had one.
Good decision making there by Chris Dobey, who's thinking that he does want to go double-double. You don't expect your opponent to hit the 170 finish, but it's a chance that Smith may relish. Not to be. Chance for Dobey.
Smith had a 170 in the first match, one of 4 we've seen already. Lee Evans standing up at and Jermaine Watamina, the others, big fisherman.
14.
The 7 is left. Splits it. Double 4 is now left. Only one dart in hand.
10.
I have to say, I'm surprised that double 7 so close to double 16, which he adores. Move the treble 18.
Close, but no cigar. And Chris Dobey, who hasn't been able to kill off his third leg of the first set. We've seen some faff already. Now we're looking at double 2. Gets there in the end. The 5 darts missed at double and now rendered irrelevant.
Yeah, I watched back a couple of Ross Smith's successes at that European Championships in 2022, and he was ferocious in his celebrations when he was winning legs, when he was hitting 180s. I mean, he was really screaming to his family and friends, and I don't think he'll do that against Chris Dobey, but he has to do what's best for him. But a lovely start from both. Just sense that a breaker throw can be really difficult in this game because of the scoring power. So I guess when opportunity knocks, when there's a breaker throw, but Chris Dobey would have the dart in the last leg of this first set. Could that be important?
Very likely to be, Glenn, I'd say. Dobey's average of 103 in his first match against O'Connor, bettered only in this championship by Bunting and Littler. Well, Chris Dobey has given himself a chance here, assuming, which is may well be folly, that Ross Smith doesn't take out the 161. Well, he won't.
Yeah, just a little bit jittery there, wasn't it, as he approached the hockey? I don't know if the Wasp has spotted him.
65.
He sets up a little 2-dart, but these are the types of finishes that these elite players just do with real ease.
Tops the target. Brilliant from Chris Dobey. A 116 crashed in to take out the first set of this match against Ross Smith. Best of 7 sets for a place in the last 16, and it's first blood to Chris Dobey. He's 1 up on Ross Smith.
Stage, but it is Hollywood. That man there, Chris Dobey, who is just ahead by 1 set. Remember, the winner of this one will play defending champ Michael Smith in the last 16. All right, for the final time this afternoon, let's hand you back to Glenn and Rod.
Thanks, Anna. Yes, Chris Dobey with his highest finish of the 2024 World Darts Championship. 116 checkout for a 12-dart breaker throw to clinch the opening set against Ross Smith. They traded maximums 2 apiece in that opening stanza, and now in the second set Ross Smith has the darts.
Yeah, I just sense it could be a case of trading places after this set, because I think the player with the darts between players like these two, where the scoring is like that, could be really pivotal. You can just see the engagement there with the crowd with Ross Smith. Just a little finger point there. They promised a lot this match, and at the moment they really are delivering.
Chris Dobey started off the opening set with the darts, and he opened up with a maxi, and Ross Smith has followed suit at the start of the second.
93.
Ross Smith trying to go beyond this last 32 stage, which has caused him so many problems in the last 2 years when he's been KO'd by Dirk van Dijvenbode. Chris Dobey, a former quarter-finalist, and if you look at the quality of the players it's taken to knock Chris Dobey out of the world: Chisnell, Taylor, Anderson, Gary Anderson, Gurney, Humphries, MVG, and what's that name down there? Durrant. Well, if we leave the last one aside, I mean, the quality, Glenn, of those players.
Me and you're going to fall out today, Rod.
Well, Chris Dobey pummels in his third match, and that's 3 each now.
And the thing with that big score for Dobey means that Ross Smith had to bring the bullseye into it. But that second dart there was just a little bit loose. Chance for Dobey. That's why you should never give up in legs. Just the one treble with 2 darts. Treble 18 being it.
Yes. That leaves the bullseye. Bingo! Chris Dobey, who took out his highest finish of the championship at the end of the first set, 1-1-6, trumps that with a 1-2-4 to open up the second and put himself in control of the match.
The admiration I have of these players, the fact that they just take it in the stride. I mean, inside you're absolutely bouncing. You want to celebrate, you want to jump up and down, but they know that won't do them any favours. You don't want to be disrespectful to your opponent, but more importantly, you just want to keep that heart rate down. And this is good signs for Chris Dobey. And once again, just pounding that treble 20 bed.
You talk about playing well and losing darts matches. Ross Smith averaging 106 here and not getting much change out of Chris Dobey because he's averaging 110.
And rising. Unbelievable darts. 2 phenomenal talents here. And this takes me back to just a few weeks ago when Ross Smith played Michael van Gerwen in Minehead for the Players' Championships finals. Michael van Gerwen averaged 118 against this man, who himself averaged 105. Is it going to be a case of deja vu here?
128. 124.
That was a superb last dart. It means that this 1-3-4 has to go, Ross Smith.
Well, Chris Dobey has put together back-to-back dozen dart legs either side of the break, and now looking for a 13-darter to add to his advantage. Well, it's so sublime, it's so simple for Chris Dobey.
How proud must that family feel? Like I said, we very much look after each other in the northeast, and you know everyone will be watching Chris Dobey. He is along with Ryan Joyce and Callan Ridds. I mean, they're just doing fantastic things in the game right now, and that's only going to inspire young players. And there's so many young players coming through the northeast right now, and so many will be watching this man in full flow. Joe Cullen celebrating his win.
Why wouldn't he be? Terrific match against Ryan Searle, and a terrific performance earlier by Stephen Bunting, who's very much on song.
Look at those numbers. Mind-boggling.
Well, carry on boggling your mind, Glenn. Boggle away. Boggle, boggle, boggle. As his average goes to 114 with a 5th maximum.
Did you see I smashed him on this stage? I mean, look at this.
I think he was begging for mercy by the end, Glenn, wasn't he? As I recall. I'm losing count of the maximum. So that's 10 in the match, 5 each.
Job fingers don't now go to my toes. This is unbelievable. I did say it was about the finishing. There's just something there that's affecting Ross each time he gets down there. It just seems...
Well, here's a stat for you, Glenn. This will be only the 2nd dart Smith has had as a double in the match. He's thrown 2 and he's hit 2. He's had next to no chances. He's taken both of them. But Dobey is offering him a few crumbs off the top table here.
Yeah, big leg of darts coming up. Dobey's darts. Like I said, I thought this had 4-3 written all over it. If Dobey can take a 2-0 lead, it would be a big move early in this match.
10 maximums thrown. Just 5 darts and a double missed in the entire match. 11 maximums thrown. This is the 8th leg of darts.
Years and years of practice for moments like this. And when you're both at your top form, it's just a real joy to watch, isn't it? the rhythm right now, Rod. The focus, the desire, the concentration.
Ross Smith is 2 sets down if he loses this leg.
And the minor mistakes have been punished so far. Dobey will start centre of the board.
That's in the bull, leaves 75. Brilliant, leaves double 12. And that would have eclipsed his previous 2 finishes and set another new high finish for him in this year's championship.
And Ross Smith is just saying, get me down to a double because I can hit that part. But Chris Dobey's not giving him the opportunities. Chance for Dobey for a 2-set-0 lead.
Double 6, eastern side of the board. And Chris Dobey dominating this darts match. He's taken the opening 2 sets of the match. Ross Smith not having much of a sniff here, and Chris Dobey's dominance has put him 2 up and halfway to the winning post, and potentially a darting date with the world champion Michael Smith in the next round. Dobey 2-0.
This pans out then and hands you back to Glenn and Rod for the final stages.
Thanks, Anna. Yes, Hollywood Chris Dobey 2 up. Our friend Helen Chamberlain suggested he should be called the Doberman, and it would be well named here, Chris Dobey, because this was a savage performance, a savage second set. 122 set average there as he won legs in 13, 12 and 13 darts. Ross Smith averaged 118 in that second set and got one dart and a double. It's frankly ridiculous. Play at that level and get 1 poke and a double in the 4 legs that were played. This is dominant from Dobey, Glenn, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a virtuoso performance so far. Like I said at the beginning of this match, I felt there was nothing to separate it. I felt it was going to be a 4-3 game all over it, and just maybe a little bit of magic was going to separate it. Well, the magic so far has come from this man approaching the hockey now. People often ask, why is he called Hollywood? Well, it's because he thinks he looks like Brad Pitt.
I think Glenn made that up.
My favourite actress is Whoopi Goldberg. And my favourite actor is Gerard Depardieu. And if they got married, they'd be called Whoopi Duppy Doo.
And another leg featuring a maximum. All the opening legs of sets have featured a 180. That was Dobey's 7th, by the way. Smith almost putting in his 6th, but he's going to put in something here if he's going to reel Dobey in.
It's just formidable, right? He just doesn't look like missing, does he? Sensational.
And we've talked about the 12 dart legs, the 13 dart legs. Could there be an 11? There could be. He wants double 12. So we have to settle for another 12 darter as Dobey's rampage continues. In the first set, he had a leg that was finished in 17 darts when he missed several at double. But apart from that, it's been 12s and 13s all the way.
Just look at those numbers. Imagine averaging 110.73. So, Ross Smith, when you wake up this morning, you're going to be averaging 110.73 after 2 sets and 1 leg. Thank you very much would be his replying. Look at the set number, the leg number. This is unbelievable darts from Chris Dobey, and he's not going anywhere.
Goodness me. We're in the 10th leg of the darts match, and Chris Dobey has now had 9 maximums.
Not too shabby from Ross Smith. He's on his 6th already.
Paltry by comparison, Glenn. Paltry.
Stop it. Stop it. They are making the game look ridiculously easy right now.
Well, he's left 40 after a dozen darts, but it will count for 0 if Dobey hits tops. If Dobey. Where was the word if doing in that sentence?
Sort yourself out, Rod.
Sorry. My apologies, Chris.
Said it was going to be tight. 15 darts at a double for Dobey. Oh, this is fantasy darts.
As Wayne Mardell once said, check the treble, it's non-standard.
I went to the Premier League at Newcastle, Rod, and I watched Chris Dobey walk on. There was flags, the crowd. Look what's going on here. And I thought, how on earth is he going to deal with this? And right now I'm thinking the same. The adrenaline that must be going through his body right now. There'll be so many questions in his mind. How do you keep it free? What a performance.
Well, Chris Dobey at the moment is making a man averaging 109.5 look like a mug.
He's in again.
Well,
Rod, the headlines have been Luke Littler, the headlines have been some of the stunning performance from Stephen Bunting. This has to be the performance of the competition so far.
little doubt.
What a shame he's a Geordie. What a shame.
What's happening? He's missed something. Missed twice.
I tell you, if that double 16 goes in, he has a set average over 130.
All Ross Smith needs to do here is check out this 296 and he's back in it.
Give him a hedgehog. For the set.
Or 2. In the madhouse.
No score.
Wow.
Roger require 156.
Smash and grab? Maybe.
Just has to settle for the smash. Will he get a chance to grab? Double 2. And some fallibility creeps into the Dobey game.
No score.
I make that 8 darts missed in this leg at double. Ross Smith takes full advantage.
He's just engaged in the crowd. That's what he feels he needs to do to get him going. That man in your picture right there, you're thinking, what on earth has just happened? The averages were staggering. I was ready to conclude that set with a set average averaging over 130, then 8 missed darts at a double. You just never know. There's turning points.
Well, we could see a number of records go in this match.
140.
The highest average in the last 32 of the World Darts is held by Anderson, 108.39. And the highest average full stop is held by Van Gerwen, 114 by 0.05.
140.
That double 16 goes in on the 92 finish. He was close to 120 average. Right now he's thinking, just get me through this set. The first worrying moments for Chris Dobey. The positive he would have the darts in the last leg decider, and Ross Smith has found something. 2 darter and 86, and from absolutely nowhere we have parity in this set.
Right, now Chris Dobey was dominating the darts match. Ross Smith was just hanging on, having been used as a punch bag for more than 2 sets. But the strangest thing could happen here. If Ross Smith can find a break or throw, he'll be back at only 1 set behind, and he'd have the darts in the next. What a turnaround that would be. He looked to have no price about 5 minutes ago.
Keep digging in, Ross. That'll be what he's thinking right now. And Dobey, that 140 to start. I can't even begin to tell you how good that was because of the circumstances. Ross Smith is a massive 180 hitter. Boy, does he need one right now. Right now.
As called, as delivered. A 7th maximum for Ross Smith. 4 behind his opponent on that metric. But really in with every chance here of snatching a set he appeared out of, and still he goes on. 180, 140.
Ross Smith is flourishing right now. Chris Dobey had this set in the palm of his hands. It may take something special.
Well, it looked on, it looked there for the second dart on the green bit, followed by the bull. Smith to snatch the set. Will only be a dart at 5-5. That is sensational. That is magnificent. That is bottle par excellence from Ross Smith. How did he win that set? How is he still in the match? He looked like he was being knocked clean out of the ring by Chris Dobey early on, Glenn, but how has he held on?
I think that was a Tyson Fury moment. He was out. He got up at 8, then missed darts by Chris Dobey, and the reaction from him there. I tell you what, this is difficult moments now for this man. He has to get everything back together as well. Smith's on the up.
Well, Chris Dobey looked like he was just putting the icing on the cake at the back end of that set, but his cake has fallen apart. Ross Smith has rallied. Well, sensational stuff, and you've got to hand it to these two Aerosmiths.
Thrilling game.
And I'll tell you what, Glenn, the highest losing average in the history of this great championship came in the semi-finals in 2017 when Barney averaged 109.34 and got annihilated by Van Gerwen. We could see that eclipsed here this afternoon because both players are averaging in excess of that, and one of them is going to get beat.
126.
Chris Dobey will find out an awful lot about himself in the next 10-15 minutes. Very sensibly on 126. Of course, the majority of players would go down the 19s in that situation, but Dobey can't finish on 178. Good thinking from Ross Smith under intense pressure.
85. Ross, you require 40.
Tops. Double 10 does not want to give Dobey a chance, and he does not give him a chance, and he makes it all legs on the trot. And now suddenly Ross Smith is odds on to level up in sets.
140.
At the beginning of this game, we did feel that they may score with each other. We were expecting an incredible amount of 180s that could come down to the doubles. Ross Smith's not had as many as Chris Dobey, but 6 from 8.
140.
That's a positive for Ross Smith. 15 missed starts on the outer ring so far for Dobey.
Ross Smith has had many fewer chances, as Glenn has just outlined, but he's taken almost every one he's had.
You've got all that nervous energy when you get onto the stage, and we've seen today that some incredible darts at the beginning of the games, but it's that mid-match surge that Ross Smith's looking for right now. A game will always have that lull, that little bit more battle where the 180s aren't coming as free, and I just feel that's the state of play right now.
Winner to play Michael Smith, but in the same segment of the draw as the likes of Rob Cross and Johnny Clayton too. Someone's going to have to do a real job to get through that quarter of the draw. Dobey wants to leave tops and does so.
Good bounce back ability here from Chris Dobey. Joe Cullen had something very, very similar in that last game as the match flip-flopped for Chris Dobey right now to get back into this set. He's missed starts at a double are worrying. But when you're that good, you can rely on that phenomenal throw that he's got. Two of the nicest dart arms. Beautiful and elegant to watch.
Six.
Just sense that both players just taking stock right now. I'm sure Chris Dobey, his mind will go back to that third set, and you're telling yourself up there not to think about that previous set. You've got to think about what's ahead of you. It's that little devil jumping on your shoulder and that little angel. Which one is winning right now?
He can't do much about the darts that missed a double in that set, but he can do something about the ones that will come. And Ross Smith can do something about adding to the maximum count. 8 to Smith, 11 to Chris Dobey. My apologies, 12 to Chris Dobey.
I don't think I've hit 2180s this year. At least they've done it in half an hour. But don't hit one here, Ross.
Well, we checked the score, and luckily Ross Smith did too. And he's left tops. Can Dobey take out the 102? Couldn't find the treble lead of the first two darts, and now Ross Smith with a chance to inch in front again in set 4.
Doubles have been great so far, but the pressure's intense right now.
Can ill afford to miss here, and he hasn't missed. He's thrown 10 darts at a double, he's hit 7 of them.
Do you remember that scream and shout that I mentioned when Ross Smith was winning the European Championships? Is just beginning to come back, isn't it?
140.
Each double that's going in is accompanied with a roar.
Yeah, you could expect to see the Ross Smith swagger if he levels up this match in the next 5 minutes or so. Look at this.
Sometimes, Rod, you just got to sit back and admire two players at the top of the game. One was down and out and is now fighting back, and one who was in total cruise control, who's thinking, what on earth is happening right now? You've just got to keep believing.
I'm trying to sit back and admire Glenn, but the only part of my seat that I'm currently utilising is the edge. Because it's that kind of match, isn't it? Even though we know we're a long way from the finishing line. The drama has been relentless.
We had high expectations going into this game, but it's been full of drama, incredible scoring. Just the 7th treble-less visit in this match for Chris Dobey. That's how power scoring. There's that little look to the right there for Ross as well. Bullseye's not a bad shot here.
90.
Is he listening to me, Rod?
Well, he's better off listening to you than me, Glenn, that's for sure. Smith has left himself 71 points away from squaring up the match. Look for 51 for 20. Leaves tops. Set darts gone.
Richie requires 64.
think Chris Dobey expected to hear game shot the way Ross has been finishing. 2 darts, a double 8. He's got away with one. That's a flyer.
Well, he was very close to busting it, but in the end, he's missed both darts at double in any regard. And Ross Smith now 3 in his hand and looking and lasering in at double 10. Double 5. And Ross Smith, who was battered black and blue for 2.5 sets by Chris Dobey, is level in this match. It's 2 sets apiece. Extraordinary scenes at the Ali Pali. Chris Dobey can't believe what's happened. Ross Smith is really starting to strut his stuff now. The swagger has come back for Ross Smith. It's all square, and both players are now 2 sets away from playing Michael Smith in the last 16. What happens next? Join us in a couple of minutes to find out.
It is all poised rather nicely, isn't it? Who will be facing defending champ Michael Smith in the last 16? Well, let's find out and hand you back to Glenn and Rod for the rest.
Thank you, Anna. Yes, Chris Dobey dominated the early stages. He was 2 sets up. Bookmakers made him 33-1 on to win the tie at that point. Now it's 2 apiece in sets, and it's 5-6. Take your pick with the bookmakers. What do you see it as, Dan? Have a look at the stats for us.
Yeah, absolutely nothing to separate them. A game of 2 halves, that's for sure. I mean, Chris Dobey just come out the trap so beautifully well, and Ross Smith, he was down and out, but missed darts at doubles by Chris Dobey, brought Ross Smith back in, and all of a sudden he's the guy that's now really looking chipper. And we did say now it's just best of 3 sets. We said it could take something magic. I didn't think it'd be missed doubles from Chris Dobey. It was mesmeric in them first 2.5 sets. It was darts from the gods, really. I haven't seen Chris Dobey ever play like that. I mean, it's a case of bringing your practice darts to there, and now it's this fascinating duel that we have, and no wonder it's 5-6, because I couldn't pick a winner before, and I still can't now.
5th set, first leg, it's Chris to throw.
Dobey's missed 19 darts at a double. 8 of them came in a leg midway through the 3rd set when he looked to have command of that set, and that would have put him 3 sets up, but he missed those 8, and Ross Smith stepped in and stepped in and stepped in and snatched the set, and then won the 4th as well. He's flying, Ross Smith.
Yeah, one of my visuals, I could see Chris Dobey was on that stage a lot earlier than Ross Smith, and I thought that's a really good idea. And then Ross Smith's come out and just pinged that 180 there, so. And finding it again, of course.
Oh, and now, it seemed inevitable that a second match would follow to tee up a 9-dart attempt. We saw Scott Williams miss double 18 for the 9 earlier on in the championship.
99.
Still awaiting the first of this year's event, which would be the 15th of the PDC World Championship, if it appears.
Yeah, no more Newcastle jokes as well. I've had a message off Graham Stoddart to say he knows where I live, Rod.
Oh dear.
So stop me.
171. Does it require 85?
Well, he's left 36. That's for a hold of throw. Ross Smith hunting a break here. He should get at least a dart at bullseye. Should. He will.
And that was for a breaker throw. That was an important dart, but once again, I just didn't like his walk up there. It's as if something's putting him off as he's going for them doubles at the end. This can be a bit nasty on double 9. You've got to be aggressive with the last.
18.
Another 3 go begging.
47.
And that could cost him the opening leg of the set. It should cost him the opening leg, because Smith has got 2 in hand and only needs 1 of them. Ross Smith, whisper it quietly, is in front in this darts match. You'd have got long odds against saying that when Dobey was in total command midway through the 3rd set, but that's how it is now. And now it's Dobey with the conundrum. Can he fight back himself?
And remember, the winner, the carrot, is to play the world champion Michael Smith. And we were saying on commentary last night that Michael had a little bit of a wobble in his match with Madars Razma. And I always sense that you need that in a competition. You're going to have moments, and that's what Chris Dobey's going through right now.
Well, very difficult to dominate the entire field round on round on round. Van Gerwen went close to doing it in 2017, though he did average less than Cristo Reyes in one early match. Still won it, of course, and then on the back end of that 2017 World Championship, he was unplayable.
You just sense that these are the perfect fit for each other. But right now, it's Ross Smith in the ascendancy.
Well, it's Rocket Man Ross Smith now, because he's really had liftoff in the last 10 minutes or so.
140, Ross 161.
You can see this as a set-up turn. He could take it out if he likes. No, a set-up turn. Pragmatic darts from Ross Smith.
429.
That's really being aware of his surroundings and the score, Glenn, isn't it?
And there's an interesting balance, because he is the one chatting and holding his hand out to the crowd, whereas Chris Dobey's in a real bubble. But Ross just stayed super focused, incredibly professional, set himself up for his favourite double. Was it sensible play? He widens the bed, hence the reason he moves across the hockey. Now we can see it. This is awkward.
No score.
Well, teed it up, but couldn't put the putt away. And now Dobey could produce something sensational. Something sensational to turn the tungsten tide. He couldn't quite find the finish. What would have been the highest finish of the match. And Ross Smith dropped his head, fearing the worst. Well, this double 16 is proving a pest. It's not in.
16.
That's not in either. So that's 6 he's missed to go 2 up in this set.
Well, when Dobey missed his doubles, Smith capitalised. When Smith missed his doubles, Dobey capitalised. 2-2, 1-1 in the balance. And Smith, sick as a chip.
83. Sig.
All of a sudden it's Dobey that's finding the treble 20 again. I think that's one thing I've noticed, Rod, just sort of sat here. I've got the perfect view of these games, and you get the great analysis, all the statistics. But so many of these games, there's not an awful lot to separate them, and the way it changes during the game is, well, it's unbelievable. Just sense that Ross just took a little bit of time there, just a little self-reflection. 140 points behind in this leg.
Well, the half a dozen he missed at the double to take a vice-like grip on this set may yet prove very costly in the final analysis when the final ledger is tallied up.
90.
Yeah, just fell 5 of the last 6 darts there from Dobey were thrown with a lot more power, where that last dart, it just flew in the air beautifully well. It's a time not to panic. We do see that winning line, but he's got total control of this leg. It's his to lose from here.
57.
Well, Ross Smith is going to need Dobey to fail to take out 96 and to go out, you feel, in 6 darts from 224.
Is there going to be any pressure? That last dart just keeps his head above the parapet.
96.
It's in Dobey's hands. Options. He went the double-double.
56.
He's left himself very nicely. But these are the types of finishes. These are the bit of magic. Over to you, Ross Smith.
Well, he took out Chris Dobey, the 1-2-4 in the second set. Like this, on the bullseye!
86.
I think we both fancied that, Rod. You're on the edge of your seat. I just nearly fell off mine. Tops for Dobey. Surely.
Double 10 as he goes hunting. And finding, right in the bottom corner. Chris Dobey has turned set 5 around. Lost the first leg, won the next 2.
And let me just put you in the mindset of Chris Dobey right now. Not only did that go in the double 10, but it was incredibly close to double 15. Then your mind starts thinking, maybe just a little bit of luck's on my side. That was a massive dart. And it just crept into the bottom part of that double 10. Good moments now for Chris Dobey.
First job for Ross Smith is to hold here and send it into a 5th and decisive and deciding leg in this 5th set. Knife edge stuff there. Well, it's more painful watching than playing.
Yeah, good shout, Rod. I mean, I certainly know it's in your hands when you're up there. You don't feel the nerves that your family and friends and your management do. You know if you're feeling good, you know if you're feeling terrible. But for those family and friends watching right now, it's really difficult.
Smith
in charge here of this leg.
I love to analyse throws, and Ross Smith is just... it's almost perfect. And that's not bad either.
140. Ross required 36.
Level up the set. Yes, indeedy. Ross Smith levels up. 2 legs all, 2 sets all. And a leg here which will put one player a set away from victory and one player a set away from defeat.
Yeah, the 1 treble 19 was the minimum there for Dobey. And Ross Smith's thought right now, please, 140. Not to be, Rod.
No, that is a slip at this stage in the match. Big dart again at the back end of the visit.
Absolutely, that one single treble. They both don't look comfortable. And that's purely just look at the sets and leg score. It's a pivotal moment right now. They're just going a little bit low on the treble 20, but the treble 19 has been kind. Perfect. Beautiful.
140.
Well, 140 is worth much gold at this stage.
140.
Ross Smith counters, but Dobey has all the aces here at the back end of the 5th set.
Take a proper boxing match, this, isn't it?
140.
Just stood in the centre of the ring and just thrown haymakers at each other. But it's Dobey with a chance. This is what you asked for. And when opportunity knocks, you have to take them. This is for the set.
He's missed 25 darts and a double in this match. But he hasn't missed that one, the crucial one. And Dobey is in front. The crucial 5th leg of the 5th set goes to Dobey. And now, is that the decisive move? Is he going to roll with it now and take this match out in this set? Or can Ross Smith send it all the way?
So respectful there from Ross Smith. Just a little nod of appreciation to say, well done, Chris, but I ain't out of this just yet. if it was a boxing fight, Rod, potential draw?
57.
Well, quite possibly. When's the rematch? Tomorrow, Glenn, is it? Shall we reassemble here tomorrow afternoon for a rematch?
440.
We talked about the sprint at the start of matches. That's when you often see the real best of the players. Then there's that mid-match potential surge or that lull. And when you get the conclusion, once again, you suddenly see the best from players. Ross Smith, another 180 to add to the list. 24 in this match.
46. Ross 124.
Well, the 1-2-4 on offer again. Seen him miss the bull for it. But no need to go for a bull at the end of this visit, and he won't have the opportunity now.
81.
You see in games like this, Rod, it's the last 30, last 32.
Well, I was looking for the cage-rattling 13th maximum to just give Smith a tap on the shoulder. Now Smith wants 43. This double 16 caused him all sorts of angst. Not this time. 14 dart leg for Ross Smith. Takes the opening leg of a set that he has to win to stay in the contest and stay in the World Championship.
140.
And remember, this is just the first of 2 sessions of darts today from the Ali Pali. Still to come this evening, Gerwyn Price against Brendan Dolan, Luke Humphries against Ricardo Pietreczko, and Ricky Evans against Daryl Gurney. As Chris Dobey rather rudely interrupts me by hitting a 13th maximum. Carry on, Chris, don't mind us. Oh, this could be another. This could be another. Wow, good grief.
My notes are out the window now. I'm just like every one of you watching at home, just enjoying the darts.
13 maximums apiece. Now the record at this phase of the competition
65.
is 31, as Van Duijvenbode and Ross Smith accumulated between them last year. Double 8. Lovely. What a leg of darts from Chris Dobey that was, by the way, and 11 darts.
Just clean and clinical and just so crisp. And any doubts I had about Chris Dobey maybe a set and a half ago, I mean, the numbers for this set again, right? Ross Smith averaging 120 in this set. Chris Dobey just 112. They seem to have found their A game once again.
Well, remember, if Dobey can break here in this leg, he'd be thrown for the match. That's how quickly it can come around. When you're sitting there enjoying the action and the high scoring and the clinical finishing, suddenly out of the blue a player can be thrown for the match, and that's on the cusp of that happening here for Dobey if he can break throw.
96.
Absolutely. Ross Smith has control of this leg, and with that dart is now a big favourite for this leg. After that first dart, surely a 140. He'd be disappointed with that. Little Dobey just looks over at the score there, 127.
Well, Dobey's giving Smith breathing space here with a rare poor visit.
127.
He's got 6 darts at 127, and he'll be grateful of the ability to suck in some air here and relax, if you can do such a thing when you're trailing 3-2 in a World Championship last 32 tie.
91.
Once again, not looking at the histrionics of that leg, just nice and sensible. Didn't work last time though, did it? Was the missed dart at the double 16, which was the catalyst for the comeback from Dobey.
I think the right decision but the wrong outcome. Let's see what happens this time. Double 9, the switch, which can be awkward. Which is awkward.
Chris Dobey did not expect this chance. He needs the treble up.
Rossi required 9.
Tantalisingly close to the treble 20, but not in it. Smith's got to burn a dart to get to a double. And he will have 2 now, a double 4. Well, this is now starting to get awkward.
5. Fisher required 6.
Will the mistake be punished? Focus. Can he execute?
He can! And Chris Dobey now, 1 leg of 501 away from a place in the last 16 against Michael Smith. Ross Smith, his doubling has deserted him just when he needed it most. He threw 6 darts from 36 down there and did not finish.
140.
Can't afford to do that almost at any time, never mind at this time.
The man from Bedlington is biting like a terrier.
59.
And that was a big, big dart, and he was up for the challenge. Opens up with a 140. Ross Smith is wading in water at the moment.
46.
It's been a match just littered with 180s, and what Ross would give for one right now. What he'd give for a max.
But whatever darting deity he was praying to did not answer. Chris Dobey trying to charge to the finishing line. Quarterfinals last year when he was demolished by MVG.
He's a different proposition now, is Chris Dobey. That Masters win, Premier League experience. But no matter how much you have in moments like this, it's still as tough as ever. He knows he's potentially 6 darts away. What a fantastic dart. Options. Stunning.
Well, who'd fancy this? 170, potentially to stay in the World Darts Championship. And he can't take out his second big fish of the tournament, and now he's on a wing and a prayer. Ross Smith's fate is now in the right hand of Chris Dobey. Not interested in double 19. Has 2 for the match. Dynamite from Dobey, and he blows Ross Smith away in the end. What a match that was. An absolute barnstorming battle between 2 heavy hitters, was threat to go all the way after Dobey had been reeled in from 2 down to 2 each by Ross Smith. But Chris Dobey does enough in the end, and now he faces another Smith in the next round. Michael Smith, the world champion, is next for Chris Dobey, who delivers at Ali Pali.
Well, Ross Smith is applauding the crowd there, but let me applaud both players there. It was just a game where both players made it look incredibly simple, and look what it means to both players. It was a match I won't forget. It was a battle between 2 players very much on their A game, but it was Chris Dobey who got over the line in the end. A sensational match.
And that is where it all fits into the draw. He's knocked out one Smith, he faces another Chris Dobey. Ross Smith has gone, Michael Smith will swagger into view for Chris Dobey. The world champion is next in Hollywood sights, and also in that half of the draw the likes of Rob Cross, Johnny Clayton and Krzysztof Ratajski. OK, let's hear what Chris Dobey made of that, if he's got any breath left in his body. He's talking to Abigail Davies.
Well, Chris Dobey, one of the greatest displays we have ever seen on this stage. What an incredible contest. Given what was being thrown back at you and the stage we are on, one of the best displays of your career?
Yeah, definitely grinded it out. Obviously missing 6 darts to go 3-0, and I think I was home and hosed then. Even though Ross was playing fantastic, I just felt comfortable. I was hitting everything until the game turned, and he does what he does. He never gives in. He comes back fighting, and then he went in front. I come back, and yeah, I'm so happy to get through that against such a, not just a tough opponent, but one of my best mates who I spend a lot of time with as well. So, and a nice little bit of revenge.
Yeah, scoring so heavily, averaged 122 in that second set. What on earth was going through your mind when he got it back to 2-2?
Nothing, you know. You've just got to keep calm, and I know what kind of darts we both can play, and yeah, I just battled, and I never give up, and I'm just happy to battle through that. That was a really, really hard game.
You mentioned it there. You wanted revenge for the European Championship. Certainly got it.
Yeah, what better way as well on the biggest stage of them all. Like I said, he's so gracious in defeat. I love the lad to bits, and like I say, we spend a number of weeks together, you know, and it is hard to play them, but you've just got to switch on, stay focused. We're both there to earn a living, and yeah, I'm just happy with that.
Michael Smith up next for you. You've won 4 of your 5 meetings in 2023. You must be confident you can dump out the reigning and defending champ.
Yeah, you've got to be confident. Playing like that, he'll not be wanting to play me in that kind of form, but now he's absolutely smashed me off the board. I've smashed him off the board. It's just on the day. I'm just hoping another performance like that, and it'll be another great game.
Absolutely superb again today. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you. Cheers.